Okay. Maybe you can tell us about your life and how it was like in the CU, your life in the CU, in leadership and the various positions that you served now in the Christian Union.
Yeah. So I think, as I said, initially when we joined first year, just there in the registration table, there was a desk for CU. So I joined right immediately. We were actually roommates with Sheila in our first year. So that really helped also in our spiritual, like the things, And I think Sheila was also our class mom the first year. So there are a lot of things, it was almost more of like, there's this, we're going, this is important to us, we're doing this. There's Morning Glory, and it used to be in ODM. There was this Block C, because I used to be in Block C. Down there used to be the mess, and the mess used to have a Morning Glory. So we used to go there at 6 a.m. So it will be like, let's do this. There's this activity. Let's go. So we were very active, I would say, as a room, very active in, the CU activities, and more of that just kept going. And I think, I guess people noticed, maybe those in leadership and all those kind of things. So with time, the leadership positions came in. I think now from second year, because I became the vice chair at second year. So initially when I got that, I was like, what? Me? Really? Okay. And prior to that, I think when I was in first year, there was a time I remember clearly, there was a time when there was someone who was supposed to speak on a Friday service, then could not make it. Then I was requested on a very short notice. I don't know if it was just that day, that Friday, I'm being requested to speak at night or something, or a day before. It was a very short notice. And I remember I went and preached and spoke. And I think it was my first appearance in front to preach and something like that. Yeah, but after that, now in second year, I was the vice chair, and the vice chair, second year, third year, I think I was the chair, third year, and fourth year, because it was always like second year to third year to fourth year, like that. So being vice chair once, and then I became a chairperson twice. I remember, but there was the third year when I was getting to be the chairperson. It was the first time in the Christian, because all the time it used to be chairpersons are male. So this first time it was me, a female, and it did come easy. Those, the bit is that at the point I was selected, there was that time when they first say, and there was actually opposition. And there are people actually who petitioned against it, and I had to sit again before the what are they called? The EC. To explain. It was I felt like it was a very painful moment after that, and to just think like, what? Okay, these are the reasons why, and many other things. But afterwards, I think the EC overruled. Anyway, they said blah blah blah, because of this and this. I still think you can still go ahead. So I think going in as a chairperson the first time, so the first CU chairperson lady, knowing that it was not, it's not like and knowing that that there are people who feel that I'm not okay to lead, also in a sense was a humbling moment. So when I get there, it was like, we're here to work, man. Not here to please anyone, we're here to work. I had a great team. That time in third year, and you're leading the people in the exec who are like 50 years, people who are ahead of you, who are older, who are better, who you feel, even personally, if I was to vouch, I will vouch for them. I think they are better as leaders and better. But I'm like, oh, God has given me this opportunity, and they were very nice. I think that's the one thing I really liked. That was my take home, that despite the fact that they were older than me, maybe more experienced, they really accepted accepted my leadership. They were there. Everyone did their work so well. I can't remember any moment. I felt so nice to be a leader because everyone took their role so seriously and ran with it. There was no one my role was not to no. It was just more of reporting. We have done this is what people are doing. It was so nice. I can remember very well that first year. It was such a smooth ride to be in leadership because of the people we were serving with together in the exec. And we dared to dream, do things. I remember the projects that we had to do when it just felt like, is this even possible? What are you talking about? How can this? And seeing them come into be, felt like, wow, this was a real test and, strengthening. At the same time, also during that, as becoming a chair, also in the region, became also the RSEC chair. NASEC also. I think the first time I was RSEC chair, I was not in the NASEC, But the second time I was the ASEC chair, I was in the NASEC now, the treasury. So that exposed me also to a lot because I was also able to meet other students from other places, the universities, other CUs, how people reason, how people, I always felt baffled at how other CUs call their chairs mom and dad, and I just felt like this is outrageous. Please, no, don't call me mom, please. I'm not your mother. Not in a bad way, but I felt like it puts so much responsibility on you. Why? But the people who enjoyed that, it always felt that way. Or sometimes when it felt for me, just like if you're having an ASEC weekend or an ASEC weekend, it was just like, it's okay, vice chair, you will run with the program and everything. Yeah. But it always felt when you're interacting with these other ones, people had to put things in order, It almost feels like, you have to be there for things to run. So I always saw that as a gift, like in terms of having a CU where we are open, we are so free. There's no bishoping or pastoring. Okay, no, I was never called a bishop or anything. So no bishoping, no pastoring, so no heavy titles, responsibilities on me. And therefore, anyone can be anything. Even when I have left, those ones who are left, they run and things run so well. So I liked that about our CU all through. I'm really grateful. I hope we're still running on the same. Yeah, but that was a very good moment. But also now going into NASEC, interacting with people, going to NGC, National Governing Council, now meeting here people who are professionals, but people who know God, who are believers. Oh my goodness, that was my turning point. I think interacting with them at that level in the board, people with ideas when you just like, I think I've been living, where have I been? You just, for you as a student, the only things you think about is, just your life and your eating and all that. But now here you're meeting people who are heading countries, people who are doing, the top of their game in career-wise, and yet they're here with you, sitting with you. For me, was humbling. It felt like, this is what I want to be. If anything, God, please help me to be like this. I don't want to ever get out there into the professional world and I be unreachable, untouchable. I was so inspired. And also, I think one of the things that also pushed us to just make me believe also in leadership. I think just my interaction that time in Focus, Fellowship of Christian Union, that time in ARSEC. And you see, here in ARSEC, we also had the associates branch. I was also in that committee. We would also meet with the associates leadership in the region, North Rift region. So interacting with all these people made me believe in myself as a leader. So remember, as I said, remember that point of being a chair and the opposition, because the time when it felt like, maybe I'm not up to the task. Maybe it's just someone who's so, those things. But now interacting here, they made me believe and also made me think about what leadership can be about. I was really inspired. I think one of the things I felt strongly, in fact, by the time I was finishing campus, was that I felt Focus had done something so life-changing. Just by accepting to be a leader, exposing me to so many of these things, the realities, or, seeing the budgets, the focus, how to raise that amount. I remember as a Christian Union, we started tithing to Focus. And I remember our CU used to be used as the model because we used to tithe. Other CUs never used to do that. And I think that's when they actually started telling them, you can actually do this. Look at what this Christian Union is doing. And we used to tithe, and it felt like if actually all tithe, then we will actually help the budget. And by the time I was being chosen to be the treasurer in NASEC, it was more from that point of mobilizing, resource mobilization. Like you can actually be able to talk to people and tell them, but this is doable. You can actually do this. So looking at that, looking at Focus as a ministry, how it runs, the budget, being exposed to all that as a student, when you don't have anything per se, was really helpful to nurture and to make me believe in that leadership, and also at the same time spiritually to be formed, especially on sound doctrine, to be more aware to what is sound doctrine. I think all through we're just being, it's okay, but now here we're more of, we need to vet, which pastor comes, what are you going to speak about, those kind of things. I think that's how it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, we can just take a short break.
Thank you.
Tuendelee.
Mm. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Yeah. So I felt like it had such a positive impact in my life. Yeah, I think that's just my biggest highlight. I would think spiritually, campus, just to be exposed to focus as a ministry, to know what's happening, how do things run, how much money is needed. It almost feels like you actually feel it. You're working with something that you're feeling. It's not just like, it's almost like maybe you're in a home and your parents let you know this is a monthly budget. This is how we get money for this, and just helping that and, rallying up other students and other Christian unions and, selling the vision to other people and, let's do this, we can do this, we can do that, was so amazing. I would say for me, it really helped me to grow my muscles. And that now exposure, as I said, to these professionals who are believers and who are so down to earth. They're humble. I mean, if you're to meet them out there, you will not know that this is this who and what. And yet they are here with us as students and ready to listen to us and, to listen to our ideas, ready to help us on the way. I was so, that was, I feel like it's something that brings so much joy to me when I think about campus, or the times when you had to, raise funds, so I learned the art of just raising funds. Sometimes even, the conferences, because I used to know people from home. My dad was like, it's very clear, it's okay. If you want to go for a conference, it's okay, but I'm out. My role is to provide school fees, please. You're not going to add that, what. Yeah. So if you have the money, so how you go. Yes, I like that anyway, the fact that he allowed us anyway. There was no time he would say that you can't go for that conference or something. So I would go and I would attend, but now I had to raise the funds from people around me. So I would approach this and ask, and all that, and people willingly gave. Now that I'm on this other side, I understand the great sacrifice that it is to actually support students or whatever means. I don't think it's just more of like, just as easy as it may look outwardly. So I'm really grateful if any of those, I have people who really, Dr. Mugalo, but I used to go either to the clinic, go to theater, and he used to support, maybe his new exec has this, we need this amount of money, we are just sort of this amount, and he'll give, just top up the rest of the money, how much do you need this, and he'll give.